Very good evening, everyone. Good evening, students. I hope you all are doing fine. So, first of all, I welcome each one of you to my class on the Indian Penal Code 1860. Let's start with my brief introduction first. My name is Sandeep Khatri. These are my areas of specialization, as you can see on the screen. Here is the link of my profile of Unacademy. So make sure you follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. Here is the link of my Telegram channel where you can connect with me and ask your questions in relation to your judicial preparation. At last, I have mentioned my code that is Khatri10, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app, which is completely free of cost. So this was about me. Now I request everyone, please be attentive, and this is going to be interactive session. So the moment you feel you have any question in relation to the subject or the topic I'm teaching, and you may ask in the comments and I'll answer accordingly. Students, before starting this class, one important announcement that I have already covered all the 9 special laws in this series, which is available in my special class. So if you are facing difficulty while dealing with any of these special laws, you may refer my classes. I have done with the explanations plus MCQ classes as well of all these 9 acts. Now coming to the topic of today, that is, we are going to talk about offenses affecting human body. Okay, so let's begin with this class. In this class, I will basically start with introduction first, which you should know about this chapter, that is offenses affecting human body. After that, I will go into the details of some of the important offenses, the list of offenses which is available there, and the important concepts which you need to remember while dealing with this chapter. So this is all we are going to cover in this class. So let's start with the introduction first. The very first thing which you should know about this is that chapter number 16 deals with offenses affecting human body, starting from section 299 till section 377. All this is basically offenses affecting human body. Now, when it comes to IPC is nothing but it states offenses and their punishment. There are many classifications, students. For example, offenses against the religion, offenses against the property, offenses in relation to your marriage, offenses in relation to election, offenses affecting public tranquility, and so on. So one of the most important chapter which you can think of, there are two most important chapters. The first one is chapter number 16 and the second one is chapter number 17. Whatever state you are preparing for, you can see in your previous year question papers that you will definitely get questions from chapter number 16 and chapter number 17 in your PT as well as in your mains examination. So this was the basic introduction. Now I am jumping into the list of offenses involved in chapter number 16. The very first ones are section 299 and section 300. That is culpable homicide and murder. Students, in the previous class, I have already covered this topic, that is 299 and 300. So if you do have any questions in relation to this, you may ask. Very good evening, Dharitri, Shivangi, very good evening. Shivangi, which part you want me to repeat? Waiting for your question. Which part you want me to repeat? I have just discussed the introduction part. Waiting for your question so that I can move on. Okay, difference between section 299 and 300. Okay. Okay, I'm answering this question, students. The difference between section 299 and 300 in detail. You may refer the last class as well. Okay. So let me give you a chart which can help you to differentiate between these two topics. Okay, whatever I'm going to teach you right now, the all reference is taken from, all the points are taken from R versus Govinda, which is again a landmark judgment. Okay, so suppose there is a case that comes to you, and case, I by the term case I means some facts comes to you. Like, A did this, then the role of the B was that, then C comes into the picture, then they did that, and finally B was killed. Now you need to decide whether it is a case of culpable homicide or murder. How you are going to differentiate between these two concepts. So once the case is in front of you, first you will check whether it is a case of culpable homicide. Yes or no, which means either this is going to be a case of culpable homicide or this is not going to be a case of culpable homicide. Now, how will you decide that? If the case falls under 299(1), 299(2), 299(3), either one of those or more than one of those, it is a case of culpable homicide. Now, when you will read section 299 from the bare act, students, you will not find there any clause 1, 2 or 3. So you can divide the complete section 299 into three parts. The very first one part is intention to cause death. 299(2) deals with intention to cause such bodily injury which is likely to cause death, and 299(3), that is knowledge that which is likely to cause death. So these are the three important points. But suppose if it is not falling under any of these clauses, any of these concepts, then it is not a case of culpable homicide. And if it is not a case of culpable homicide, then it can never be a case of murder. It can never be a case of murder, which means if you want to reach to the concept of murder, you have to go through the with culpable homicide only. There are no such shortcut. You cannot reach to the murder like this or like this. Now coming to how will you see that it is a case of culpable homicide which does not amount to murder, or when it is culpable homicide amounts to murder. So again there can be two circumstances once you have reached to the point of culpable homicide. Either it is going to be a case of murder or not the case of murder. In these circumstances, if when it does not amount to the case of murder, what are the circumstances? When it will fall under section 299 clause 2, 299 clause 3, exceptions of section 300. Any of the 5 exceptions of the murder will fall under culpable homicide, which means in these 3 circumstances, culpable homicide does not amount to murder. Now coming to this, when culpable homicide will amounts to murder? When it is a case of section 300, 1, 2, 3 and 4. If any of these falls under, if your case falls under any of these clauses, then it is going to be a case of murder. So the very first difference, the most important difference, which you can figure it out of this chart is, in all cases of murder, there is culpable homicide. But all culpable homicide are not murder. So the very first difference, all murders are culpable homicide, but all culpable homicides are not murder. I hope it is clear. Yes, Shivangi and everyone else. Yes, not vice versa. Okay, ji. Now I am moving forward. Other differences you may figure it out with the help of the differences, like section 299 deals with culpable homicide, section 300 deals with the concept of murder, section 304 gives you the punishment for culpable homicide, section 302 gives you the punishment for murder. Okay. Moving forward now. Now, when I use this term, offenses against human body, the very first thing that comes into my mind is culpable homicide. After that, the concept of murder. Now, what else? Now, what else? Then there comes causing miscarriage. If a lady is pregnant, so basically 312, and someone caused miscarriage, okay, that will fall under 312. Causing miscarriage is completely a different concept other than culpable homicide and murder. Then the next one is your hurt, grievous hurt, acid attack. Acid attack is basically your section 326A and 326B. One chart I'm also going to share with you for the concept of hurt and grievous hurt. Okay. So first let me complete this one, the whole offenses, the list of offenses against human body. Just a second. Yes. Now coming to after acid attack, then there is wrongful restraint, wrongful confinement. Then there is criminal force and assault. Then there comes the concept of kidnapping, which is of two types: kidnapping from lawful guardianship and kidnapping from India, and abduction. After abduction, then there is rape, and last one, 14th, is your unnatural offenses. That is your 377. So these are the list of offenses. Now all you need to do is first you know the meaning of these offenses, when these offenses will take place. So I'm giving you just a simple formula. Just go with the essentials. If all the essentials has been fulfilled, that is going to be the case of, if all the essential of section 312 has been fulfilled, then it is a case of causing miscarriage. When it comes to the concept of hurt, there are three important key terms which you need to remember. So there are only three essentials for the hurt. Similarly, when it comes to the concept of grievous hurt, there is a list of 8 points. If in any of the points your situations falls in, that is the case of grievous hurt, and if not, then it cannot be a case of grievous hurt. Acid attack, 326A and 326B. Wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement, all the section numbers concerned to these sections are also important. So when it comes to wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement, section number 339 and 340. Criminal force, section number 350 and 351. Kidnapping, section number 359, 360 and 361. Abduction, 362. Rape, 375. And unnatural offenses, 377. So these are the section numbers which you cannot forget. Now, in addition to this, you also need to learn the section numbers of the concerned punishments. Now, how you can do that? I'll give you one example for this specific chart in relation to hurt and grievous hurt. The very first thing which you need to remember is that section 319 and section 320 are not the offenses. I'm repeating myself. Section 319 and 320 are not the offenses. Then what it is? They just define the concept of hurt and grievous hurt. Now suppose if someone committed an offense of hurt, that is section 321, that is voluntarily causing hurt. This is the offense, students, under section 321. 322, voluntarily causing grievous hurt. These two are the offenses. 321 and 322. These are just bare concepts. Just a concept. That what is hurt and what is grievous hurt. Now coming to the punishment part of these sections. Section 323, punishment for voluntarily causing hurt. Section 324, punishment for voluntarily causing hurt, but with deadly weapons. Now section 325 and 326, punishment for voluntarily causing grievous hurt, punishment for voluntarily causing grievous hurt, that is with deadly weapons. Now you can see the relationship between these sections. Now what is the difference between section 324 and 326? Both are with deadly weapons. Both are deals with the concept of punishment. But the difference is here it is causing voluntary causing hurt, voluntary causing grievous hurt. Similarly, now you can see what is the relationship between 323 and 325. What is the relationship between 321 and 322? What is the relationship between 319 and 320? Here it is a list of three important key terms, which are, the very first one is whoever caused bodily pain, disease or infirmity. And when it comes to section 320, there is a list of 8 pointers. I hope this chart will help you to learn all these section numbers. In addition to that, what is the relationship between all these sections? And there are 99.9% chances that you will get questions either on section number or heading or their punishment, or you can say the conceptual. What kind of conceptual question? Let's take an example. A beats B and B was in the hospital for more than 3 weeks. Now, if someone was in the hospital more than 3 weeks, so that is more than 21 days. So this will fall under the section 328th point. So this is a case of grievous hurt. So either you will get these kind of conceptual questions, or moreover only as the section number, heading or punishment. Now, can you tell me where you are going to get the grave punishment? Either in the case of 324 or 326. Obviously, 325 and 326 is going to be more severe punishment in comparison to 323 and 324. Now, anything which you are not clear with from this particular chart? Yes, please. Yes, if it is all clear, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll move on to the next one. Okay, thank you, Shivangi. Moving forward. Students, when it comes to IPC, there are two criminal law amendments which you should, majorly focus on. The very recent one is Criminal Law Amendment 2018, and the second one is your Criminal Law Amendment 2013. So, in 2013, this is basically after Nirbhaya rape case. So, there are two additional sections that has been added, 326A and 326B. Now, both are in relation to acid attack. Now, coming to what is the difference? The difference is when it comes to section 326A, it is basically talking about the concept of commission. Remember the concept of stages of crime? The very first stage, intention. Second one, preparation. Third one, attempt. The last, fourth one, accomplishment. So this is basically 326A is commission, or you can say accomplishment of the offense. 326B is moreover talk about the concept of attempt. So let's take an example. If A throws acid on B, but with the good luck of B, if suppose B survives, okay, if the acid does not even touch the body of Mr. B, okay, now in that circumstances, what punishment will A get? So A will get punishment under 326B. A will not get punishment under section 511. Why not? Because 511 itself states if there is any specific provision, then the punishment will lie there only. So in that case, 326B only. Now coming to, let's just assume before 2013. So suppose in 2000, in the year of 2010, someone successfully committed this offense of acid attack on some girl's face. Now, will he get the punishment? Answer is yes. So, at the time of 2010, that used to fall under grievous hurt. But now we do have a very specific provision. So, now we will not go under grievous hurt. This will fall under 326A. So, you can get either they are going to ask you about the amendment or the section number or the heading or the punishment. So usually, or you can say even the case law as well. There's a famous case law of Lakshmi as well, Lakshmi versus Union of India. There was a famous movie as well on that case of Deepika Padukone. Okay, so these are the questions which you may expect from the concept of acid attack. Okay, ji? Either amendment, that is 2013, section number 326A and 326B, the heading, and then the punishment, and then the case law. Anything which now is not clear to you. Ayush, you have raised one question. Law will have retrospective effect. No, this amendment will not have any retrospective effect. Why not? Reason. Article 20, clause 1. Ex post facto laws. Okay, Ayush? So these law, okay, it is something like, suppose if today we make a law, today if we make an offense that is punishable, okay, let me give you an example. So suppose today, if there is a law came out that a particular act will amount to offense, and that is the punishment of that offense. Now, this particular law cannot have retrospective effect. Why not? Because of Article 20, Clause 1. I hope it's clear. Just a second, I'm looking onto your. Yes, Dharitri. Chapak was the movie I was talking about. So that is based on a landmark judgment of Chapak. Ayush, as far as this concept is concerned, there are no exceptions. Okay? There are no such exceptions. As far as this clause, this concept is concerned. Okay? There are laws which has a retrospective effect. More you can take example from the Hindu law. Okay. Chaliye. Now coming to the next concept, that is wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement. So wrongful restraint is, usually a person can go into four directions. Okay. And the condition for the concept of wrongful restraint is if there is one hand which is restrained, you cannot move there. And on one hand, you can easily move. The rest two, either you can move or not. Either you can move or not. That doesn't impact. This is an example of wrongful restraint. So basically, you need to focus on that on one direction there is a restraint, on the another direction you may proceed. The rest two does not impact much. Okay. So this is a case of wrongful restraint. But in the case of wrongful confinement, a person cannot move in any of the directions. So usually you will get examples like if someone is locked down in a room, that is a case of wrongful confinement. You cannot move in any of the directions. Okay. When it comes to section 100, you will see that only in the case of wrongful confinement, you may cause death of a person, but not in the case of wrongful confinement. Now, why not? Why wrongful restraint is not under the list of section 100? The reason is because here the options are available. Here you do have the time, here you do have the ways to contact the concerned authorities. And that is why you cannot cause death in the case of wrongful restraint. But in the wrongful confinement, you left with no other option. But to save your life, you may cause the death. Yes, Shivangi, section 339 and 340. And you also need to go through with 341 and 342, which are basically of the punishment of these concerned offenses. Ayush, so sir, one way must always be open. Exactly. See, I have just told you that one particular way, this may be under any of the directions, but at least one way should be open. Okay. You can take some examples like suppose Mr. A was going to the office and someone block his way that you can go, you cannot go on this way. And then he turned back to the police station. He may go. But if A killed that person who was stopping his way, okay, so that is something which is not allowed. Why? Because you do have the time, you do have the access of the concerned authorities. So you cannot take the law into your hands. Done? So we will continue the concept of offenses against human body in tomorrow's class. So that's it from my end as of today. So this is the link of my profile, my Telegram channel, and this is my code Khatri10. Let's crack PCSJ with Unacademy. Students, if you are preparing for UP Judiciary exam or Chhattisgarh Judiciary exam, make sure you attempt for all these 3 full-length mock tests in case of UP and 5 full-length mock tests in case of Chhattisgarh Judiciary. And this is something which is on a very minimum amount. And there's a new course which is starting from 16th Feb for duration is 12 months. The name of the batch is Safalta 4.0 Comprehensive Batch. There's a rapid revision for Uttarakhand Judiciary which is going on, already started from Feb 3rd onwards. I hope you all are aware with this that your exam date is already out. The PT examination date is already out. Unacademy has already introduced their judiciary notes. There is a mains test series for Punjab Judiciary 2023 in which you will get 3 full-length tests for mains exam plus the model answers. So that's it from my end. See you in my next class. Till then, yes, it's time to say peace.